Thank you. Co-chairs, Minister Salam Said Tomasil, Secretary Mike Pompeo, colleagues, good morning all. I welcome this special meeting as it comes on the heels of talks between my president and President Trump, where they agreed on the value, indeed the imperative of continued international cooperation in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. America's generous help to ASEAN member states to combat COVID shows that the U.S. remains a dependable and reliable partner of ASEAN. The U.S. has also given generous sums to the Philippines for COVID programs. I personally received a donation of 1,200 cots with air mattresses for our hospitals, and I express my deep gratitude. We have an interagency task force that exemplifies our whole of government approach to this pandemic, as if we had any choice but throw everyone and everything in a fight for national survival. The task force placed Luzon under an enhanced community quarantine until end April. It is likely to be extended, and I recommended harder. Also provided over $1 billion of assistance to workers, businesses, and hospitals. And it is not enough. We need a global alliance to fight the enemy that does not recognize borders. What is under attack is humanity. To contain this threat with any hope of defeating it requires that we work across borders with seamless unity, complete mutual trust, and full faith and confidence that either we all win this fight or lose it if any of us is defeated. The ASEAN-US partnership is the anchor that will hold us steady in this struggle. These are our priorities. Strengthen healthcare systems by increasing production and supply of medicines and medical equipment. Ensure food security by keeping ASEAN markets open and safeguarding supply chain connectivity staples like rice. There is no need to say what is evidently ongoing with all speed: the research and development of vaccines. We will forbear mentioning preparedness for future pandemics for when and if we survive this one. Healthcare workers are at the core of healthcare systems. Filipino doctors and nurses are among the frontliners risking their lives in the United States. There was a move to ban their foreign deployment. I fought and beat that ban. Whoever is competent to help wherever they choose are free to go. The Filipino cares for everyone wherever in the world. We hope the U.S. protects them and does not forget their contributions as it crafts immigration policy in light of COVID-19. I have stated that there is never a good time to indulge in provocations. They usually end in defeat of aggression or a self-destructive prize of victory. But it is always a good time to defend and affirm our sovereignty and our commitment to peace and stability in our region, especially in the face of pandemic. At a time when our efforts and resources are focused on battling COVID-19, China has continued to engage in and intensify coercive acts and actions threatening that peace and stability. We wish it was a singular, isolated incident, but it is not. In February, a People's Liberation Army Navy vessel aimed the fire control radar gun control director at one of our Navy vessels, conducting rightful and legitimate maritime patrols in the Kalayaan Island group. In March, China opened 2 new research stations with defense silos and military-grade runways, Fire Cross and Subi reefs. And this month alone, it sank a Vietnamese fishing vessel, continues to fail a Malaysian ship conducting exploratory drilling, and has announced the illegal establishment of the Zisha and Nansha districts under the administrative jurisdiction of Sansha City. It named Kaditingan Reef as an administrative center, even if these include areas long under Philippine jurisdiction. These are flagrant violations of international law that infringe on the sovereignty, sovereign rights, and territorial jurisdiction of the Philippines and ASEAN claimant states. It sullies the good faith and expectation of mutual trust between ASEAN and China that is much needed to combat the COVID contagion. We can ill afford to be disrupted by geopolitical power plays and encroachments on the territorial integrity of other states in the region, particularly such as are doomed to failure in their objective. Not only must we navigate the COVID crisis, we must also prepare a post-pandemic plan of social and economic recovery. In Asia, that recovery hinges on China's recovery from the ravages of the pandemic, but it can never be at the price of our honor and sovereignty. ASEAN must exercise continued vigilance against these transgressions. We urge China to adhere to the Declaration of Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea and exercise self-restraint in the conduct of activities that would complicate or escalate disputes. With maritime security as a key pillar of ASEAN-US strategic cooperation, it is critical the US continue to contribute to the maintenance of peace and stability in the region. We are committed to working with the US and recognize the necessary presence of US naval vessels in the South China Sea as the indispensable precondition to peace and amity and economic progress in the region. Thank you.